much as we are here at Checky Financial. No kidding. Let's talk about how to have fun and still have money. This is John Checky, co-founder of Checky Financial, and we're right in the middle of some case preparation and doing our best to encourage people to have fun and still have money. Now, how on earth do you do that? Let's take a big, deep breath to get started. Let's come up with some ideas of one, how do we have fun? Seriously. Now, for some of us, it's no more complicated than taking a nice sip of filtered water from a cup we've had for years. Had that cup since 1995. And this particular cup illustrates a wonderful point. This cup works just as well now, despite being 35 years old. Is that correct math? Let's think. 1995. No, just 26 years old. Sorry. At any rate, so how does that actually work? Let's say you have a good cup. It works just fine. Is there a need to buy another cup? Now, behind me, you see a big, I'll call it a jar or container of unsalted mixed nuts. And that's something we buy on a regular basis because I love to eat fresh, unroasted, unsalted nuts. And I have to refill that on a regular basis. So that's something, a great joy in my life. I think, God, it's actually good for me in terms of fats and proteins. And for me, it provides lots of energy and good fuel to go ahead and get about my day, just like the hydration does the same thing as well. From the time I was a little kid, I was taught simply this one principle, and that was spend less money than you make. And you might ask yourself, John, you have no idea how complicated my situation is to actually make that happen. Let's kind of go over a couple things. We live in Plano, Texas. It's relatively temperate here. It might be as warm as 70 degrees today, which is very unusual for January the 25th, which is what today's date is. So again, in our environment, what can we do for free that still could be fun? Me personally, I really enjoy walking around a park that's within about a 5-minute walk from my house, walking around that. And on certain days, I'll run through the park on the grass, not to be confused with the hard sidewalk. And what is the cost associated with that? It's just a bit of energy. Every once in a while, I'll take a video of it just for fun to show the different topography, what's growing, what's blooming, and the like. But that's a fun way to do something absolutely, positively for free. Some other things we can do absolutely, positively for free. Lots of people during the pandemic have been binging on various television series. What's another alternative to that? Since when you subscribe to Netflix or Prime Video as Amazon Prime Video or Roku or many other services, there's a charge associated with that. In addition to that, cable has some amazing charges in programming as well. So how do you get around that? Right now, I'm talking to you on YouTube, trying to impart some information, trying to do at least 10 minutes worth because most people like to get lots of substance when they're doing things. If you are, in fact, lucky enough to be employed at a place as a 401k, you can make contributions. You say, "What you were talking about amusement, and now you switch to making investments?" I'm confused. On YouTube, you can find out all kinds of information. I affectionately call it, it's like having Mr. Wizard on my desk, in my computer, and on my telephone. In other words, now if we have a question about, how did Matthew McConaughey lose so much weight for that Dallas Buyers Club, you literally can get a video on that on YouTube if that's of interest to you. Not that curious personally, but I did enjoy listening to his audiobook entitled Green Lights. That brings another point. I personally do subscribe to a service called audible.com. I'm not an investor in audible.com, so I'm not pitching it. I'm just telling you it provides lots of free information after you pay for the subscription. And if you enjoy learning, and the last time I looked, leaders or readers, it's a wonderful service as well. But let's get back to YouTube for just a second. Last time I looked, you can actually just, if you have Wi-Fi in a computer or a smart telephone, you can get on Wi-Fi, look up some things that are of interest to you. You can also subscribe to various services on Wi-Fi. Any number of subscriptions which provide very valuable dieting information, exercise information, financial information, and just information in general. And if there's certain columnists that we like to look up very quickly, we can pop in and find them there as well. In addition to that, on the internet, there's all kinds of reading material that we can do there. The Wall Street Journal comes up for free. Now, if you want a more in-depth Wall Street Journal, yes, there's a subscription charge associated with that. It is amazing to me how much information is available for people who actually have streaming ability. It's a nice fancy way of saying if you have Wi-Fi. And I'm guessing most folks do have Wi-Fi at this point in time, but let's say you don't. If you don't have Wi-Fi, what can you do to get yourself some Wi-Fi for free? Again, going back to how to have fun and still have money. I'm under the impression that most McDonald's and Starbucks have Wi-Fi. Now, I'm aware that this Starbucks close to where I live doesn't really have folks sitting inside. They have baristas that are kind of packed in behind the counter and serving things. The one and only time I went to Starbucks recently, I bought, I think it's 12 ounces of coffee to go home and grind. Someone was kind enough to send me a gift certificate on that. So thanks very much. What's the point of all that? If you in fact have a computer or a smartphone, you can visit your, if it's open, local library, commonly they have Wi-Fi. Your McDonald's, commonly they have Wi-Fi. And there are other shops which, honest to God, have Wi-Fi services. So you can look that up as well to go ahead and hook into that stream without having to pay for it. Now, while you're doing that, there are any number of ways to protect the integrity of the data on your devices, and I highly recommend you look into what that protection is for your device. We certainly do that for all our devices to make sure that we have jamming signals so that folks don't even notice we're on the internet when we're on the internet, because it's no fun having your data compromised. All kidding aside. So point number one, spend less money than you make. If, again, going back to the 401k, if you have a 401k, you can make your deposits in the 401k automatic. Heck, at our local church, Messiah Lutheran Church, it automatically set up payments to them as well. Just got off the internet and set up an automatic payment for a couple of different utilities and a couple of different credit cards, which we pay off each month. The point of all that is you set as much on automatic pilot as humanly possible. And in my case, I really adore the fact that there are a couple of different banks and a couple of different credit card companies, one of the few banks, which actually keep accounts for me. So I have a running tab in terms of where I have spent money, and they can recap that for me as well. So another way to save money, spend less money than you make, is to track your expenses. Personally, what I like to do is put that on its ear. I like to say, gee, in the future, I would like to also say it, an example, in my case, a really cool car, because I really like cars. I don't love cars, but I like cars. And we've cut down and we have one car for Susie and one car for me. And about 4 years ago, a particular car manufacturer came out with a car they had not made in about 50 years. And I thought, wow, when that comes out, I sure would like to wait a while and buy a used version of that particular car, which is a 4-place convertible, meaning it has 2 seats in the front, 2 seats in the back. Therefore, at least 4 people can travel in that vehicle, including the one driver. How did I do that? One, I waited the 3 years until it was a used car. 2, I took a couple of courses in how to actually buy a car and get it at a really good price. 3, I had over the years saved a bunch of money because I had in mind to have a car like that. And thank goodness the account in which I had that had good growth. Therefore, I sold that toward the end of last year. I sold that as the investment account. Put that in I accumulated this money for a car bank account. Applied for loan just to apply for a big car loan just to see what that would be like. And it was an adventure, not a habit for me, but it was an adventure. At a decent rate, but I really hate paying consumer interest. I don't even like paying business interest, never mind. Yeah, it's not very big on paying interest, rather collect interest. So paid that for 4 months just for comic relief, and literally over the weekend paid that off completely, so that now 4-year-old car, which I got at a wholesale price from a dealer, is totally, thank you very much, paid off. So spend less money than you make, save for your goals in the future on a regular basis. Have accounts set up specifically for specific goals. I say 1, you would like to send your kids to college. Well, have a college funding account. 2, you'd like to go ahead and get a really cool car. Well, have a car account that you do on a regular basis. 3, you'd like to have a really nice house or some improvements to your car and home. Have a, we'd like to fix up our house or buy a house account. So have separate accounts. Therefore, when we have those separate accounts and we have made contributions to those over time, and it has grown to the level that we need to actually reach our defined goal, oh boy, we can do that. And that leads us to my final point, guilt-free spending. Y'all have fun, be well. We have lots of helpful hints in our book, which you can get on either our website or at Amazon. Have fun, be well. Look forward to seeing you soon.